say Wu Tang, what does that mean to you, bro? What do you think of?
Think of Staten Island.
Child.
Yeah, I think of Staten Island. I think of Stapleton, Park Hill, New Brighton, with Staten Island. I think of the Foursome D's. I think of the UMCs. I think of Wu Tang, the Sons of Man, the Killer Army. I think of Takitha. I think of Papa Wu. I think of I think of GP. I think of myself.
Was it like being so young and being a part of that massive unit and being successful? Like you was popping.
Yeah.
For one, being from Staten Island, right? It's just like, being a fifth borough, being an outcast borough. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that others haven't attempted to pull our borough up and did a great job. Foursome D's was platinum, UMC's was also gold and platinum. Mac Wiles, but the W, it just brought the world to look at Staten Island. You know what I mean? And that's a big accomplishment.
I mean, it has two names, Staten Island and Shaolin.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, it's Shaolin.
Yeah, I understand.
No, it ain't even Staten Island. It's Shaolin. That's just what it is. It's Staten Island for the Italians. It's living out there, but for the niggas, it's Shaolin.
And it's also it's also a testament of, like when Rakim came back and he's like, yo, after his first trial with Tommy Boy and Jizza with Cold Chillin', and they said, you know what, we're gonna come together and be this
be one
group, you know what I'm saying, and be this mega group, and represent. Yeah.
Were you signed to the RZA?
No, RZA always been my big brother, my mentor, right? So I would take back in this is PS days, like I'm in second grade, first grade, me and Ninth Prince, his younger brother, Ninth Prince, his Killer Army, whatever. This is before, how when you're so young and then you find a friend in school and y'all become friends, and then you find out that his older brothers know your older people, but it's like discovering it, like, you know what I'm saying? And so it was like that. All my older cousins and all of them, and Guy and Mush, all of them knew Divine, Riz, and all of them. But as youngsters, I knew Ninth Prince. Cousin. So once me and Ninth, younger brother. So once we start hanging in our grandparents' crib live, I will always be over this house. This is even before rapping, you know what I'm saying? And then we started to emulate, the Rakims and the KRS Ones that was out. But also in our circumference, we had the Rakim, who's now the RZA, right? Making beats and DJing and R&S, and Dr. Rock used to throw block parties. And, when I was little, I was able to see Audio 2 be on Staten Island, Milk and Gears, and see MC Light. So it was right there, and Mercury from the Force, man, I gotta always big him up because he was the first to start throwing parties on Staten Island and bringing groups to Staten Island that was already on, you know what I'm saying? And I used to open up at these parties, and that's how I started to get attention from the elders of the Rakims and of the RNSs, because we was just rapping, shorties rapping. And it wasn't many of us at that time. So once Merc allowed me to perform at his parties and stuff like that, I became like Staten Island known. You know what I'm saying? Not just Stapleton. And then it was like, the Rugged Child. And then, I caught my deal, and it was just on.
How did you catch the deal?
Well, like I said, RNS, who was produced for the UMCs at this time, the early 90s, UMCs was out already with their album Blue Cheese and all that. They were successful, so all would be on the road doing that. When he came back, he'd be working on Pop the Brown Hornet and their music. And I was just, a shorty. Yo, can I come up, hang in the stool, whatever? And we be making demos, you know what I'm saying? But part of my job was I had to get my own tapes. It was like, you had to get your Maxwell tapes. You can get 3 and 5 in the pack.
That's real.
This is how I was able. So I would go to the store for the old G's around the hood. You'll go to the store. I'll pack bags. Get my tapes, my notepads, and I would make my demos. And I had made a demo, and RNS and them was shopping GP Wool at the time, and back then, you know, with a demo was on a tape, the tape reverses, goes to the other side. And then it was like, I'm a bad little bastard. And it was like, who's that? Who's this little girl, right? It was like, yo, who's this girl? And it was like, nah, that's my little man from the project. They was like, yo, this is a dude? They was like, yeah, he's a good boy. It's like, yo, you got a picture of him? And it was just like that. They was like, we want to sign him. And it was just went from, they came back, yo, we got to do a photo shoot. And I was like, for what? It was like, yo, Virgin wants to sign you. And then Warner Brothers had got word that back then it was all word of mouth. So Warner Brothers had word, yo, Virgin got their eye on some kid from Staten Island. Now, mind you, at this time, the Klan wasn't out yet. You know what I'm saying? The Klan wasn't out yet. And then, so I got the deal.
So you came out before the Klan?
No, I had a record deal. I had a record deal before the Klan.
Okay,
I had a record deal, but I was a minor. And being a minor in music industry, because of Gary Coleman and Emmanuel Lewis, by law, you can't enter a contract without going through the courts. So once I had to go through the court process of signing a record deal, For Check Your Neck came out, boom, and then it was like, here I came, and it was like, yo,
perfect
you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's always been Shyheim the Rugged Child and his Wu Tang. Somebody started this affiliate thing. I don't know what that is really about.
Yeah, I thought you'd be.
Listen, hey, people named that, right? But you know, it's a beautiful thing to be from somewhere where everybody got big dreams of putting on our barrel, and then for it to become a reality. It's like, yeah. But sometimes I get overshadowed by the super group that Wu Tang is. Like, it's a super mega.
Because I was always gonna be like, why he not on tour with them? He part of Wu Tang, but now you explain it.
But it's a group. It's a Wu Tang group, as in this Wu Tang family. You know what I'm saying? Wu Tang family. I was never Wu Tang Clan.
Yeah.
I was never in the Clan. You know what I'm saying? I was always Wu, and that'll never change. You know what I'm saying?
Is it a natural vetting thing from people from Staten Island? Because we've been around. From Inspector Deck with you, Raekwon. Y'all don't take a liking to nobody. Y'all put people on the back burner for like 2-3 years before you bring them into your circle. And we notice everybody from Staten Island is like that. They're like, nah, I need to know who I'm dealing with.
Yeah, people kept us outside. You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
So you giving back the energy?
No, I ain't giving back anything. It's just, well, me, I keep it on me, right?
Yeah.
I can't even say what Staten Island do because I've outgrown that, right?
Gotcha.
It was a time that I would put my life on the line for Staten Island or for the projects and things like that. I no longer subscribe to that, right? So, damn, I just lost my train of thought.
You said it was being done to y'all.
Maya used to have lots of pension pots floating around.
So it's not a get back, but for me, from going through prison and things like that, I just don't do things like open invitations. So if I know something's going on, I'm not gonna go there unless I'm invited personally, because now it's for my purpose. If not, anything that happens there, I'm type responsible. It's like, even though I do community work in my community, I don't hang out in my hood no more. Because I have multiple felonies, and if I'm in that environment, whatever happens there, I'm held responsible. So if I know, like, yo, they hustling, they gang banging, this is what goes on here, and I put myself there, if anything happened, if a cop grabbed me because I got on a black hoodie and a person, now I gotta prove that I didn't do something. And we all know the system of doing that. Right, so it's just about making better choices, you know what I mean? And so it wouldn't be a get back thing for me. It'd just be vetting a person of who they are.
Because I notice people from the island, it's like ingrained to vet. Like, I haven't ran into a person where they like, hold up. I got to give you time before you can even be anywhere near me, talk on the phone, et cetera, et cetera. So I just, each borough has their thing, you know?
Well, and then it gets crazier than that, right? Because now you my guy, and I show up somewhere, and then your guy might be your guy's guy, and now I'm in a situation I came unprepared for because I didn't come for that. I came for... So you got to be real careful, especially in life, especially when you have a history. You know what I mean? That wasn't always just music or always just that. You have to be very mindful. At least me.
That's great advice in general.